Should be live. The brothers want to go ahead and start. Just waiting for the screen to pop up.
You said it's live?
Yeah, it should be good.
All right, so
Also,
first and foremost, we're going to give all praise, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh.
double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who were well, and salutation, much love. Y'all came out there pushing out the word and truth sincerely. For us from Great Millstone back with another live. That's the Lord's will is edifying to the whole elect out there. And we're going to go in the spirit. But, because we had the Passover now, and it just marks the beginning of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So what the Lord is doing is, as He's been doing, is purging out the leaven. Our brothers can grab 2 John 1 and 9. We'll start there. All right, because there's a lot of judgments about to come. There's a lot going on right now, and the Lord's about to purge all these leaven out. You see, the Lord's exposing these different camps, man, for their hypocrisies and every idle word you got to give account for. So a lot of things is happening. But whoever got it,
I got it. This is 2 John 1 and 9. Whosoever transgresseth and abideth not in the doctrine of Amashiach have not the Most High.
And there's only one doctrine, man. It's the true doctrine, all right, that was given from Yahweh unto Yahweh Shai to be given unto those that will believe on His word. There ain't no in between. So you either with the program or you not. The Lord say they either with us or they scattering abroad. Go ahead, though.
He that abideth in the doctrine of Amashiach Yahweh Shai, he have both the Father and the Son.
Mm-hmm. But you have to abide in that doctrine, the true doctrine. All right, keep going. Next verse, though.
If there come any unto you and bring not this doctrine, receive him not into your house, neither bid him Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua speed.
So hey, if you either come on with the right doctrine, or we ain't got no dealings with you, man. And then especially these guys that come in the truth, and then all of a sudden they got the breakdowns. They the whole doctrine goes out the window. They changing things up like crisscross. Like what they call the excellent sketch. Shaking the shit up.
Right.
No, man, they don't work like that. So we gotta avoid you, man. The scriptures say, "Mark those that cause division." There's people out here teaching for filthy lucre's sake, man. For strife and envy. Just because they know the names and they know the Israelites don't mean nothing, man. There's people out here that spirits of old, man. These are the same people that took up the Lord and was screaming, foaming at the mouth, talking about crucify him, crucify him. They amongst us today, man. Talking about Israelites. The same people that deny the Lord, they out here amongst us today. But the Lord is sifting the phonies from He's separating the men from the boys. With all these things that are taking place and all these people backbiting and making up all these, hey, you're going to have to, every idle word, man. Every idle word you're going to have to give account for, man. Go ahead, Dylan. That was it on that point I wanted, though. Whatever was got.
I got a quick precept. John 7 and 16, Yahushai speaking. Yahushai answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. Backing the brother up. So this doctrine is the words of the Heavenly Father. This is not from a man. This is from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Real quick, Romans 16 and 17, because anybody who comes in a different spirit than the spirit that we've been learned in and have continued in, you got to make sure you point these people out, man. Because there is a spirit of false prophets out here, man. Yahushua warned us of this in Matthew chapter 24 and, various other, chapters. But this is real quick, Romans 16 and 17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses, contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them, man. And again, we know that these things will come at the end. The scriptures talk about the scoffers will come at the end. Okay, we understand this. But you got to understand that these men have to be marked. They have to be identified. Otherwise, who's going to know that these guys are going off, man? Our people are led away. Our people are as sheep, man. They're the majority of Israel just swayed by the way the wind blows. Okay? So it's the job of the men that are serving the Lord to point these things out, man. Because if not, that blood is, if you don't point things out, man, then that blood is ultimately going to be upon you, regardless of who was the one that led these people astray. They're gonna get judged too, but your ass is gonna get judged because you didn't warn them. You didn't let them know that, hey, look, which that word mark in here is scopeo, okay, which means to cause to look upon, and that's what we do. Okay, we cause the through the spirit and power, how about Shemel Shai, those of you that are learning, we cause this, we through the spirit, we cause you to look upon these men to realize that there's certain people out here that the Lord is not dealing with. Okay? And you see, the prophet shall be known by the things that come to pass, man. All right? And the times that we're getting ready, that we already in, is hey, man, it's going to be clear and evident. The scriptures in Ezekiel 33 and 33 talk about that when these things come to pass, and lo, they will come, then shall they know that a prophet has been in the midst of their, midst of them. Roughly paraphrasing. It's going to be very clear who the Lord is dealing with in these last days, man. Another one is in that Sirach chapter 16. Then shall my chosen be known, roughly paraphrasing. Okay?
Then shall they know who are my children.
Right, there you go. Okay? Then shall my chosen be known. All right? You had something? Go ahead.
All right, yeah. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived.
And what was happening with Pharaoh in the time of Egypt, man? He was waxing worse and worse. Every time Moses told him something, and he was deceived with his own pride. Yeah. Pharaoh, that is, that this shit ain't gonna happen.
The Lord will harden his heart.
Right, exactly.
He was ready to let him go, but then the Lord put the spirit on him. Nah, fuck this shit, man. Fuck this shit. You know?
Over and over again.
So he started waxing worse and worse to the point to where his son got killed, man. Okay? And this time it ain't gonna be your son that gets killed, man. That death angel that's gonna come down is getting ready to take a lot of souls.
Take you, your mama, your auntie.
He taking whole cities, man. 10's gonna be, the scriptures talk about 10 are gonna be left in a city, man. 10 out of how many? Jacksonville, matter of fact, I was just doing, I forget what brother I was talking to about this. Jacksonville got more people living in it, Jacksonville, Florida, that is, than the whole state of Wyoming. The city of Jacksonville got more people living in than the whole state of Wyoming. And the scriptures talk about that there should be left 10 in the city, roughly paraphrasing.
Yeah, how much more New York?
Exactly.
That's densely populated.
Right.
Densely populated.
Stacked on top of each other.
Right.
It says, verse 14, 2 Timothy 3 and 14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned of.
Yeah, remember who you learn these things from, man. You know, hey, man, you got a lot of these people that are being unruly children, okay, being rebellious. All right, and they think they on the level. You know, and you look back in your life when you was a little kid, you thought you knew better than your parents. That goes to show you that these people are still in the mindset of a child, man. Because when you become an adult, you realize, man, I really didn't know shit when I was a kid. My parents were right.
Yeah. And it started with our spiritual fathers.
Right, exactly.
All right? As Paul said, I have begotten you through the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
All right, meaning he was telling, I'm your spiritual father. He begotten you, meaning he taught you the truth. That's your spiritual father. Okay, and as the brother saying, you're supposed to be obedient to your parents. So, you know, like brothers going into doctrine, the doctrine has already been laid, has already been set. As the brother said when we opened, dudes come in with these new breakdowns. Well, hold on, the people that begot you in the gospel, how did you learn about the names Yahweh Bash Shai? You know, how did you know you were Israelite? All right, it was the men, which your spiritual fathers that begotten you, that woke you up to the point that you are an Israelite. All right, so here it is, you read these scriptures, okay, and read these laws and just read the words. But as Elder Yashwamba said in their last live camp, I think it was Friday evening, he said it's more to it than just 613 laws. All right, we're moving through the spirit. Okay, the gospel is spiritual. All right, it's things written within the scriptures that either the Lord has to reveal, as Yahushua told Peter, flesh and blood had not revealed this unto you, but my Father's in heaven. So, you know, we things have been revealed to us. A certain gospel has been given to us through the Spirit. All right, and only the elect, all right, can see it. So real quick, this St. Matthew's 26. You know, and 26 it says, and as they were eating, all right, going to the Passover, the Christians call it Last Supper. It says, as they were eating, Yahushua took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, take, eat, this is of my body. All right, and he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, drink ye all of it. All right, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. So basically, partaking in this word, okay, and partaking in this word is the gospel. Is these things are revealed unto us. All right, and the scriptures say, how can I accept some man teach me? Okay, so going back into the gospel, Yahushua is giving his spirit to certain men to reveal unto us himself. All right, which is how do we seek the face, as the scriptures speak about seeking the face of the Lord? You seek it through the word, and then you have men set up to teach you, to reveal unto you Yahweh Shemi Yahushua. All right, to expose to you Yahweh Shemi Yahushua. Okay.
I gotta preach up. Bring up.
You can go ahead.
All right, come. Philippians 1:15. Some indeed preach Yahushua Mashiach, even of envy and of strife, and some also of goodwill. And it reads, the one preached Yahushua Mashiach of contention, not sincerely, supposing to add affliction to my bonds, but the other of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel. So that's just showing you, you know, the difference between the spirits that's on the earth within Jake that's preaching the gospel, some that's of envy and strife, which are those false prophets that's falsely prophesying onto you lies and deceit. Okay, and then there's those that's preaching the gospel, which is the sound doctrine that brothers is going in on, you know, that's of Yahushua, of goodwill, you know. And when we, you know, like the elder brother just read, when we point out that scopeo, all right, that's us being defenders of the gospel. This is a professional courtesy. When we speaking up, we, for the love of the flock, like the Lord have love over the flock, so it's him that's speaking through us. All we doing is giving fair warning to Jake. Listen, watch out for these type of cats. You know, if you really trying to sincerely seek the Lord and be exempt from judgment, you got to be aware of these false prophets, these hirelings, the one that's going to mislead you and lead you up to getting jabbed up, that's going to lead you up to ultimately taking the MOTB. You know, it's all business, and it's of Yahweh Shemi Yahushua business. You know.
Let me grab this. This is 2 Timothy chapter 4, and I'll start at verse 2. It says, preach the word, be instant in season and out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. You know, and you go into the previous chapter, 2 Timothy, in the 3rd chapter, it says all scripture is given by the inspiration of the Most High, which is profitable for what? For doctrine, reproof, you know, correction and instruction in righteousness. So that what? So that we can be fully furnished to good works. You know, this is going to our perfection. You know, we're getting built up, going toward edify, because we're coming to some serious times, and going to, then again, the things that are being preached onto you, we're warning you of what to look out for. You know, but that's why we keep on reading. 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 3 says, for the time will come where they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. You know, that goes into the lack of faith that Jake has. And that's why you're going to, going to his doctrine of leaven onto bread, you know, and that old leaven is that old man, you know, these worldly things, fornication, adultery, you know, this niggerisms, you know, that Jake wants to mix into the faith. You know, as scripture saying, was it 1 Timothy 10 chapter, says, for we being many are of one bread, you know, and one body. We're all partakers of that bread, we're being Yahushua. But here it is, you know, as Yahushua warns us about, this is the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy.
You know, a lot of these guys out here are just after their own agendas. And that's why the Spirit, Juan brought out John 7th chapter about, you know, this doctrine not ours, you know. We're not here to lift ourselves up. We're here to lift up Yahushua, you know. And that's what Jake gets it mixed up. It's not about you, you know. I'll read one more verse of 2 Timothy 4, verse 4. It says, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned onto fables, you know, because this is what Jake does, you know. And this is what we're pretty much exhorting you to remember who you learn from and what you learn, you know, because, you know, going again to that flesh, this is what draws you away, you know, so it turns you away from the Lord because, again, a lot of these guys out here pretty much going to prophecy, they're going to deceive many, but ultimately going to elect, they're not going to be deceived because they follow that good shepherd being shot, right? And following who he set up is meant, right? Because that's goes into discernment, right? You just read, people teach for envy and strife, and some teach out of love, you know, and this is the compassion, again, the spirit that the Lord has on his men to do, reply videos and, you know, bringing down all these strongholds because why? Because there's sheep out here, there's people out here that need to hear the true word of Yahweh, so ultimately can get out of here, you know, get delivered, you know.
I got a quick piece real quick. Some of the brothers said, 2 Corinthians 5:17 says, therefore, if any man be in Yahushua, so it says, if you be in Yahushua, right, he is a new creature. So going into purging out that old leaven, purging out the old man, right? A lot of you still have the old man. A lot of you still that old man. You ain't purged out, you know, as they say, basically just niggas in the truth, niggas that know the truth. All right, which goes to show you you're not in Yahushua. All right, because if you're in Yahushua, it says, therefore, if any man be in Yahushua, he is a new creature. So a lot of y'all not in Yahushua. I mean, y'all don't got the spirit on y'all because y'all haven't become that new creature, that new man. Y'all still got the old man on y'all. All right, you see a lot of resemblance. You think like, damn, this just a nigga that just know the truth. Because why? They're not in Yahushua. Because if you was in Yahushua, you would become that new creature. It says, therefore, if any man be in Yahushua, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. So you still doing the shit that you did when you was in the world. All right, the scripture say old thing passed away if you in Yahushua. So a lot of y'all gonna be sought out and found out that y'all not within the body of Yahushua. All right, y'all not within the spirit of Yahushua. Y'all don't have the wisdom. It says, behold, all things are become new. But that's only if you abide in Yahushua. A lot of you still got the old man on you because you're not in Yahushua. All right.
Real quick, just for
Yahushua put off the flesh. You know, and he also said, the scriptures also say, I shall not meet thee as a man. So we got to put off that old creature, man, just like Yahushua did. You know, now we understand that we still in this flesh until the end. But we understand also, or you should understand, that you shall be changed if you endure unto the end, man. And you're doing this in truth and sincerity, man. And Yahushua, like brother just quoted, man, he's the one that lived within us, man. So we already got the victory. Why? Because the spirit that's within us is not of man.
Right.
It's not of this world. Okay? So we must understand what this, you have to understand the significance of the spirit and it dealing with you, man. Because if you don't understand what the spirit is saying, or what the purpose of the spirit is to be doing out here on this earth in these last days, man, your ass is going to be led away by any winded doctrine, man. As we see many people do, man. Because why? They don't have understanding. Okay? Because if you understood, you would know what to do. Okay? You would know what to follow after. What you got already on?
in the book of Colossians chapter 3, I'll start up a little bit here, verse 5. It says, mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. For which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh upon the children of disobedience, in the which ye also walk sometime.
Yeah, because what's the whole duty of man? To fear the Most High and do His commandments.
Right.
Okay? That's the whole duty of man. Read that last verse again.
Verse 7, Colossians 3 and 7. In the which...
I'll start up. Yeah, go back up to verse
6,
5.
Okay, yep. Colossians 3 and 5. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanliness, in order and affection.
Yeah, what does mortify mean? Somebody get that in the blue letter. Okay? 'Cause, again, man, you have to understand what these scriptures are talking about. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth. Okay, what should I say, man? He that shall lose his life shall gain it. And he that shall gain his life shall lose it. Alright? So it said, mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth. Because what does this flesh do? What did the Hebrews chapter 8 say? Finding fault with them. Okay? With who? With us being in the flesh, man. We couldn't keep these laws if our life depended on it, which our life did depend on it, man. And look at the state that Jake is in, man. Downtrodden and through. Okay, somebody got that? Mortify?
Yeah. Oh.
Malachi, go ahead.
All right, this is the word. This is the word mortify, from the Greek word necro. It says to make dead.
To make that, there you go. Necromancer. What's it? Person who fucks that body, so to say.
That's necrophilia.
Oh, necrophilia.
Necromancer is somebody that talks to the dead.
It's like necrophilia. Which necro means death, man. Which this is going to negative.
Yeah, more.
Yeah.
More than a black dead.
More light.
More.
Right, exactly. Which is why Esau calls you.
That's why when you die, they send it to the morgue.
Exactly.
You're immortal.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Even the word mortgage goes back to
mortgage
that.
is
Yeah, there
death
it goes.
Mortal, you gonna die.
Exactly.
Somebody get that precept rather enter into the kingdom maimed. Okay? Because that's what this is talking about, man. Putting off that old man. Cutting off anything that is an offense onto you, man, that's holding you back. Whether it's whether it's a hobby, whether it's a woman, whether it's things that you love, man. Children. The Lord said he that has not how does it go? He that has not forsaken houses or brethren or daughter, son, mother, sister, so on and so forth. If you love your rabbit more than you love the Most High, you and your rabbit gonna die.
Your father or mother,
Yep.
wife, son, daughter.
Yep.
You're not worthy to be my disciple. That's what the Lord said.
Yep. So finish off that Colossians 3 and then somebody get that entrance to the kingdom maimed.
Colossians 3 and 5 again. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth.
So to put to death, mortify. Okay? Brother just brought it out. Go ahead.
Fornication, uncleanliness, inordinate and affection, evil concupiscences, and covetousness.
So if something's dead, you don't give life to it.
Right. You don't feed into
You
it.
don't feed exactly.
They call it beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
Wasting time.
Exactly. Which is idolatry. Verse 6. For which things sake the wrath.
We're real quick to say which is idolatry, because all that leads to idolatry. You know.
And all these things, there's another precept, I can't remember where it is. These are things that feed the flesh, man. These are things that all appease onto the world. The carnal things. Okay? That's why what the brother's about to read, verse 6, is talking about the things of the flesh. Go ahead.
For which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience.
Why? Because the Lord found fault with us. Because the flesh is what goes off, man. That's why we was going off. That's why the Lord was judging us. Okay? That's why you got to put off that old man. You got to put off that old nature. That's why Jake that come into this truth and try to fake the funk, but they still got that same spirit of the world, man. You're easily spotted, man. Because you find fault in everything. You got a problem with everything that the spirit is doing.
Because you're not a spiritual man.
Exactly. You feed into the flesh.
Yeah, you can't stand it. The flesh is fighting against it.
Really, you fighting against the Most High, which we know was the end of you. Shall be. It would be better that a millstone was hanged about your neck, man.
Yeah, taste it.
You know. But go ahead, Ariel.
Yep. Verse 8. Verse 7.
Yep.
In the which ye also walked sometime when ye lived when you lived in them.
Yeah, right. Because what we was living in the flesh.
Exactly.
Okay, but now we become new creatures. So what do? What manner of person ought ye to be? In all holy conversation and godliness. So does that mean you still walking in the way of the world now? don't get this misconstrued, because you got a lot of men out here that they call themselves being in this truth, and oh yeah, I don't smoke cigarettes, I don't smoke blunts and all this and that, but they still divulging in things of the world. Hence, Exhibit A, Sakari, man. Those are straight up.
They're gonna be at the club
man.
tonight.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
gonna be at the club tonight.
Rented it out, yeah.
Them dudes are calling themselves being in this truth, but with a foot still in the world, man.
Making merchandise of the Lord.
Yep.
Monetizing videos, selling T-shirts.
Bad children, man.
Yeah, come on, man. That's just being demons at this point. Shit.
And that also boils down to lack of discipline. You know, as Yahushua said, you made those examples. If you love these things more, you can't be my disciple. So if you can't endure sound doctrine, you can't control your damn mouth. You know, you can't control your body, which is going into your members. Or you can't be a disciple of the Lord. You know, and that's why again, eventually you're gonna get stuck out. Because why? Because you're not keeping what the Lord said you to keep, which is yourself in control. You know, right?
Reading on verse 8, it says, "But now ye also put off all these, anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of
Filthy
your mouth."
communication out of your mouth. What manner of person are you to be? In all holy conversation. Well, you got to put off the filthy conversation. Why? Because that's of the flesh, man. That's not of the spirit. Now, of course, we understand we still in the flesh, so we got to still do the best to our ability. You know, you gonna have your moments, so to say, and you got to. The scriptures talk about use the word, not abusing it. And the scriptures also say, "Be not over righteous much." You got to find the perfect balance between the two. That silver lining, so to say.
As El Tahar once said, he said ultimately it's talking about the teaching the right doctrine.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because, hey, man, that's the one thing that you don't want to go be.
Which the doctrine, like real quick, the doctrine is going to prove it among the way you act.
Right.
Because you got some guys that you just by watching their videos, you would thought they had the doctrine. But they behind the camera, they was whole demons the whole time. Because what? They truly didn't believe in the doctrine. Now that's why when they get kicked out, they spewing out all this madness because they never really truly believed it. They was never really with the doctrine the whole time, And it comes out when the light shines on, put them on the spotlight. Now they spewing all kind of madness.
Read on a little bit more. Verse 9, it says, Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him.
Exactly, being risen with Yahushua. All right, within the body of Yahushua, man, moving in the spirit. If you within the body, you can move in the same spirit as Yahushua did. Now we know we're not going to be perfect, all right, but you're going to move within that spirit. And what the first quotes Yahushua, he gave us the wisdom and the understanding and the eyes to see and the ears to hear to understand the gospel. All right. So a lot of these dudes, they singing off tune. All right.
Somebody get that entrance to the kingdom named?
Yeah, couldn't find it.
Matthew's 18:8.
Mark 9 as well.
All right. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll go over that.
This is St. Matthew's chapter 18, verse 8. Wherefore, if thy hand or thy foot offend thee, cut them off and cast them from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life halt or maimed, rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast into everlasting fire.
Yeah, man. You don't want to carry no baggage into the kingdom, man. You want to come, like these Christians say, man, whole. So to say, whole in the spirit rather than in the flesh. You rather fulfill the deeds of the spirit than to fulfill the lust of the flesh. Okay?
You think of it like as a battle, man. At the end of the battle, you won, but you may be all beat up. And that's really what it comes down to being in this truth. You're gonna get beat up. In every way, fashion you could think of. Inwardly, and spiritually. Your money, your pride, all these things are going to get attacked. They're going to be tested, in other words. You're going to be attested, pursuant to the book of Sirach, the 2nd chapter. You're going to come serve the Lord. You got to prepare yourself for temptation. You're going to get hit with all types of stuff that you've never been hit with before when you come to serve the Lord. All right? And then you have to, on top of that, you have to show your integrity to the Lord. And then what could ultimately what could end up happening is that, the brother, put a spotlight on you, and you'll be marked and then completely bug out. So, we try our best, of course, like the brother said, but it's your spirit. You have to put off that old spirit. It has to die off. You can't keep feeding it. Let it starve to death. Let it die off, man.
It's all symbolic of fasting.
Mm-hmm.
You stop doing it. You starve it, and eventually it dies.
Yeah, that old man is a young man, because when you come into the truth, you realize what it is to really be a man through the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of our Heavenly Father. Through that wisdom, it teaches us the correct conduct on how to be a man. But in the world taught you how to be a child, which is that young man, and that's what Jake is not putting off. That's why the scriptures also say that when I was a child, I acted as a child,
right?
But when I became a man, I put those childish things away. When you come into this truth, you're supposed to transform into a mature being, being responsible.
Real quick, that's why the Most High said he winked. He winked at our ignorance. All right, because when you have children, they can get away with certain things that they don't know no better. You wink at it. But once they get of age, all right, you start to chastise them because you should know better.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah, I got a quick one.
Let's bring out whatever closing ones you got.
Go ahead.
All right, Con. 2 Corinthians 13:5. I'm going to read it in the KJV first and then the NLT. And it reads, examine yourself, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahushua Mashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates. So I'm going to read it again. It says, examine yourselves. This is a process that we all have to face on a daily basis. When you wake up, you enter into a battlefield. Like the scriptures say, our weapons of war are not carnal, but they are spiritual. We're entering into a spiritual war. And Satan has those spiritual traps, those tricks set up. This is why the scriptures say what? Put on the whole armor, that ye may be able to fight against the wiles of the devil. Satan has those traps set up to deceive the elect. If you are striving in this truth to earn the exemption from the Most High, it's already set up that Satan, in the scripture said what? If he could deceive the elect, he would. So it's already set up that Satan is going to try. And the Lord said what? That the Most High is not tempt. All right? So if you tempt because by your own lustful desires. You straight away by your own lustful desires. And that's consistent of that old man that you didn't shed away. Those filthy lucratives. That residue of the world that you didn't shake off yet because you're not shedding that leaven. And the scriptures talk about what? That little leaven the lump. So that little, you got to check that piece, that little chinker in the armor that Satan's going to see, Satan's going to know. That's the whole purpose of examining yourselves, to know where you flawed at. You know what? I need to touch up on that. Now I need to put away from that. That's ways of the world. That's how I was in the world. Chasing women. Drinking. The scriptures talk about we strive for mastery, be temperate in all things. Your conduct got to consist of balance, which consists of using wisdom. The Lord said what? Wisdom is the principal thing, and all thy get understanding. You got to understand how to use wisdom. I'm going to finish it.
So I says with all that get understanding.
That's right.
You have all the wisdom and knowledge in the world, but if you don't know how to apply it, then you have no understanding.
That's right. That's right.
That's why the scripture say there's one that teaches many, but is unprofitable to himself. He's not actually applying it. He's just spewing things out that he's already learned. He might have taught a bunch of people, but he literally, you didn't teach yourself.
That's right.
Or you didn't apply what you were teaching, which is the leaven, the true leaven of the Pharisees. It was just hypocrisy.
That's right. Whether ye be in the faith, prove yourselves, your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahushua Mashiach is in you. And that's what Jake failed to realize. When the Lord starts supping, that you sacrifice yourself. You get what I'm saying? So now it's not about you. You ain't living for you no more. You dead. You supposed to be living in Yahushua. You supposed to be representing Yahushua, seeking to Because the scriptures talk about to arm yourself like mine with the same spirit. You know, so you're supposed to be seeking. Yahushua is that perfect example how to walk in this walk of ours. You know, so
yeah, real quick, just to interject, Yahushua did that for us. You know, he disregarded his needs, he disregarded his wants to fulfill the will of the Father that sent him. For what? What was he sent for? For the deliverance of Israel. Okay? So in like manner shall we do the same for Yahushua.
That's why I said it's our reasonable service. Like you said, he did it for us.
Yep.
So the least we can do is offer up
A reasonable service.
exactly for him. You know?
reciprocate that.
Yeah.
Yep. Because the scriptures talk about it's no greater love than a man that died for his brother. So now it's us reciprocating that. You know. Well, I'm gonna close it out. It says, "Except ye be reprobates." I'm gonna read it in the NLT because it simplifies it. Examine yourselves to see if your faith is genuine. Test yourselves. Surely you know that Yahushua Mashiach is among you. If not, you have failed the test of genuine faith. That's plain and simple. You know.
Yeah, and don't test yourself by putting yourself in situations. That's not what the scripture is talking about. Don't put your
Just the experience.
yeah. Don't go to some nigga shit and then get all bent out of shape when
Yeah,
the
the cops dragging you out the window. You talking about Yahushua.
Bust the window in.
You talk, but you over here. I was testing myself. Nah, you're an idiot. You know. Hey, at the end of the day,
As it's written, thou shalt not tempt the Lord.
exactly.
Right.
Don't tempt the Lord, bro. Just walk in the spirit, man, and understand judgment, as the scripture says. The wise shall understand judgment, and understand that when you're put in certain situations, understand first and foremost, acknowledge the Lord in the situation that you're in.
Whether it be good or whether
Exactly.
Because you're not gonna know why you're in the situation. You can examine it, but you're not gonna know for sure why you're in that situation. You might be paying for something you did in the past life, but just know that you're in that situation for a reason. you deserve every minute of it.
Hey, real quick, and through experience, personally, I know that the scripture say all things work good for them that love the Lord. So what it might appear to be a bad situation is basically saving you from something.
Ass whooping is always a teaching lesson.
Exactly.
Because even though you're paying for something, the Lord's gonna teach you something from that ass whooping. It's up to you to pick up on it though. You know, then you end up getting the ass whooped again for the same exact thing. You might even go through the same exact shit again. You're still wondering why. Well, because you didn't learn your lesson the first time. And then maybe you did learn a lesson, and the Lord's gonna put you through it again if He pleases. You know, you take it cheerfully, as the scriptures say.
I got something real quick. Romans chapter 6, start at verse 12. It says, "Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that ye shall obey it in the lust thereof." So, ultimately goes to, winning this fight. Like the brother's been going into, a little leaven left the whole lump. So, applying this truth and, sticking to the doctrine which we have been taught, abiding in the Lord. The Lord is a man of war. So He called you into this thing to fight, It starts in the mind, in the spirit. All right, verse 13, "Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto the Most High, as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto the Most High." We are alive from the dead. Why? Because we have the Holy Spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua and our Lord liveth. We have been washed and cleansed with the Word. So that's the whole reason why we're here. The brother's going to present your body as a living sacrifice. So yielding your instruments to do righteousness. Everything we should be doing is, the scripture says in Galatians the 5th chapter, "Ye have not been called to liberty for lust of the flesh, but for the love of the brotherhood." Verse 14, "For sin should not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace. What then? Should we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace? God forbid. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death, or of obedience unto righteousness."
To sin unto death is obeying the flesh. If you obey the flesh every time you get the urge to scratch an itch.
Well, that's what the scriptures say, that in the last days they should become lovers of themselves. Because everybody's looking for that itch. They don't care about the Lord. Yeah, they don't care about what the Lord thinks or what the Lord Because what the Lord wants is going to be contrary to your flesh.
Right.
People don't care. They're lovers of themselves more than lovers of the Most High. So this is where we are in 2023, where people, the last thing on their mind when they wake up or before they go to sleep is the Lord. That's far from their thoughts.
Yeah, that's why when you offer up a sacrifice, the scriptures say the Lord is well pleased. Niggas want to please their flesh instead of, like bro said, pleasing the Lord.
They'll do sacrifices, all right, to please the flesh.
To please the flesh.
They kill their mama if they got to.
Exactly. You know, niggas that make time to go chill with that bitch, right? That's the sacrifice. But when it comes to do the work of the Lord, they got all excuses. You know,
nigga had a quarter tank the rest of the week because he took a 2-hour drive to go deal with a chick. Now he on the quarter tank the rest of the week.
Now he can't make it to camp. He ain't got
He missed 2 days of work.
Couldn't pay his car insurance.
But he made it. He got that pussy though.
Yeah.
But yeah, one last scripture.
Okay. It's 1 Corinthians 5, and I'll start at 6. It says, "Your glorying is not good. Know ye not that a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump?" You know, so your glory is not good. That's these other camps promoting this false mindset in Israel. You know, we've been waking up.
11 of the Pharisees.
There you go, the hypocrisy. You know, here it is, Jacob's boasting when he should be humble. You know, Jacob's puffed up, you know, when he should be lamenting and repenting. You know, having, you know, party Passovers and, you know,
With bitches, with snakes and sparklers on bottle girls.
They have no business being there.
What the fuck?
exactly.
That's like, what if we would have had some bitches come out the room real quick, just top us off on our drinks with some booty, you know, strip club attire. What kind of shit is that? It's the Passover. It was the post game after the 8 days land. Come on, man. Either way you dress it up, it's off.
Yeah, it's off, bro.
Yeah, and that's that corruption, the leaven, you know, leaven is corrupting the bread being the doctrine, you know. 1 Corinthians 5, verse 7.
He's a chief priest though.
And it's a Sabbath.
That's what I'm saying. So either way you dress it up, bro, it's off. Because he came with the snakes and the sparklers out, like, oh Lord.
But a wicked man will come up, a sinful man will come up with an excuse according to his own will.
And then that's the shit, they rented the whole club out. Ain't nobody was in there but them.
That was money on
Come on.
money for that.
But that, you know, that was years ago, but damn.
That was
These are the same guys clowning today,
Well,
bro.
still, they ain't repent from it. So shit,
Yeah, oh,
keep
they
bringing it up.
Well, shit, remember they started outside the club, rebuking outside the club, if y'all brothers remember.
Yeah,
It was out there prophesying across the street
Magic
from the strip
Mondays.
club.
Yeah.
And then they made their way inside eventually on the Passover. That's madness, man. See, that was a whole psyop. They was out there talking about we're gonna rebuke these sisters as the bitches going home after she on twerk all night. They gonna tell her to repent.
They done rent
That was all a psyop just so they could get in there. The whole time they just wanted to get in.
Hypocrites, man.
They got closer and closer to the door until they was in there popping bottles with fringes on.
Videotaping.
With fringes on.
As long as you got fringes on, you good.
That was the entry fee. Yeah, hey, fringes. But hey, we digress, man. This is the sad state of our people, man. They think the Passover is funny and, you know, a good time. Listen, this isn't Josiah's Passover, okay? This is this might be the Passover as in the days of Egypt, man. So, you know.
And that's the thing is that everybody thinks that this shit's fun and games until shit hits the fan. Just like, hey, man, during the time of Egypt, like the brother just said, man, everybody thought that it was all fun and games. There might have been scoffers at Moses within the nation of Israel, man, not just the Egyptians that thought that he was faking the fun, that he was all full of shit until them plagues started to hit. Until their firstborn was put to
Remember, they were
death.
like, man, you making our labor harder ever since you came back. Now we got to now we got to get our own straw. You know, so they were scoffing. You know, them niggas was scoffing all the way until he led them out of there. They were still scoffing on the way out. And in the wilderness, man. Our people don't change. Same niggas back here today. And it's always the main characters that you see. The Lord ain't looking for Pookie. The Pookie in the hood ain't written in the scriptures. These niggas that call themselves Israelites, those are the same people that came up against the men of the Lord throughout the scriptures, even when the Lord was on the scene. These are the same niggas talking about the Israelites today. It ain't Pookie on the block. He don't know what's going on. Luke 12 tells you that them that know are gonna be beat with many stripes, but them that don't know, they still gonna get beat, but you know, they don't know what's going on. Pookie, you know, he don't know what's going on.
No.
You know, but these guys, man,
Shame on them.
yeah. But that was it on that.
Yeah, I mean, I read verse 7. 1 Corinthians 5, verse 7, purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Yahushua Passover sacrifice for us. You know, so this is Yahushua's Passover. You know, as Yahushua said, they'll go into parable, that hard saying about eat my flesh, you know, and drink of my blood. You know, you have to be consumed with Yahushua. This is a very serious time, you know, going into what he was dealing with. You know, all this he went up to for us, you know, being persecuted, sweating blood, you know, even praying to the Father, you know, that the cup be passed, you know, but the will have to be done, you know, so we got to think about Yahushua, especially in these times. Because why? Because if we're not passed over, they ain't gonna make it out here, you know. So that's the point, man. We want to be delivered, you know. So be in the same mindset Yahushua was in, you know. Let this mind be in you, which is in Yahushua, man. It's all about doing the will. You know, we'll get our fun in the kingdom, but right now we're trying to get delivered out of here, man.
I got one we can close on real quick. And back in that Colossians chapter 3. Colossians chapter 3, verse 23, and I'll read to the end of the chapter. Whatsoever you do, do it heartily, as to the Lord, and not unto men. And the first and foremost, do it not for yourself, man. Don't do this truth for yourself. Of course, we seeking out our salvation, but don't do this just for yourself, man.
Well, the scripture say that I have not labored for myself alone, but them that seek wisdom. And there's another one that say that seek learning. That's also Sirach 24, and then Sirach 33. From
33.
Like I said, do as unto the Lord, man. First and foremost, the Lord. Do this for the Lord's name.
First and foremost.
Yeah.
This is to glorify his name.
Yep. Verse 24, knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance. So why not do it for him first? If knowing he's the one that giving you the reward, man.
And when you give credit through that, you give credit to Yahushua, because he's the mediator. He's the one that led us back to the Father.
Right.
So he got to get credit, you know.
So it says, knowing that of
He's
the
the middleman, so to say.
that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Hamashiach.
And he was the middleman by shedding his blood. That's how he was the middleman, because even though we're not in the new covenant, contrary to what some guys will tell you, that he already shed the blood for that to be a stamp in the book, so to say. You know, that so now it's just a matter of time. You know, when you go through court proceedings, there's a mediator that, all right, well, you know, you got to talk to this side, then talk to that side, and then bring it together, and then the paperwork get filed, and then boom, a judge will come give you the stamp of approval, which is the Lord. So the Lord is about to give that stamp of approval so that your household can come back as mediator and tell us, look, here's what you've been awarded. You know, because he already got his. You know, he's waiting so that he can get his. You know, it's like you win let's say you win a Super Bowl as the quarterback. Yahushua the quarterback. Well, guess what? He got a team with him. He wanted to celebrate with the team. Yeah, he might be. He the MVP. He won the game, but he had a team with him. Now you know they got him up there interviewing him. But he want to go down there with the team and celebrate with them. You know? Yeah, time to come down and celebrate with the team, man.
For sure.
You know, pass the trophy around.
You got the whole kingdom. The whole kingdom is really his kingdom.
Yep.
We're just joint heirs with him.
Right.
You know, it's his kingdom. He's gonna be able to enjoy it finally as he deserves. And
that's why he says he not gonna drink until he drinks with us, man.
He's with us. That's
we know he love that wine, but
like a real one. That's all real. You know, wait till my man's is here, man.
yeah, we ain't gonna open this to
So keep come through. Yeah. But so that's a blessing for us, man. And if we make it to that point, which Lord, we hope that's what it calls the hopeful elect. Okay, we make it to that point where we can actually be with Yahushua, be back with them, because if we are the first fruits, we already know Yahushua, man, through the Spirit. Mm-hmm. All right, it's just we got to play out this little thing here right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you off camera. Go ahead and shut it down.
Yeah, for sure. So with that,
well, let me finish off.
Yeah.
Verse 25. But he that doeth wrong, all right, those that appease the flesh, shall receive for the wrong which he hath done. and there is no respect of persons. So the Lord don't give a damn who the hell you think you are. You can be chief high priest of the hooplas, man.
The Grand
The Oompa
Poobah.
Loompas.
And the Grand Poobah.
You can be talking about how the salt converses with the moon and this and that and whatever the hell you think you
Yeah,
know.
how the spiritual realm, how the angels are made. Come on, man. We've heard it all.
The Lord don't give a damn, man. If you doing that which is wrong, man, then hey, man.
And that's
like
in
I
the
said,
Galatians, he that thinketh he is somebody, he deceiveth himself.
Right.
You know, it say, he that thinketh he is somebody when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. You're not deceiving nobody. The Lord got a strong delusion on you to make you think you somebody, just to bug you out and make an example out of you. And that's a bad place to be in, man. But the Lord make an example out of you, of how not to be. No, thank you.
And you don't know it?
Okay, go ahead, dog.
Says, for he that doeth wrong shall receive the wrong which he hath done, and there is no respect of persons. And the Lord he don't care who the hell you are, how long you've been in this truth, what you've done, what you think you've said, what you think you've accomplished. If you ain't doing what the Lord has commanded you to do, if you ain't continuing in the things that you have learned, then you ain't in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. The thing that the Lord has given us, man, is a precious thing, and you have to hold dear and hold fast unto that which the Lord has given you, lest someone take your crown, man. And don't let these niggas that are half foot in and half foot out lead you astray, man, because that's gonna be your ass. It ain't gonna be they. It ain't gonna be them. Because your ass is gonna die too.
Yeah.
But they gonna die.
Because
They gonna die because they led you astray, but your stupid ass still gonna die too, because you was gullible enough to fall for that.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
Right.
That's your problem.
Right. But in all, you know, with all that getting, man, get understanding, man. You know, that's the principal thing, man, is learn to discern. That's one of the main things in this truth, man, is discern between those that serve the Most High and those that are not. Because in doing so, you're going to know the right path to follow.
That's a gift too. The Lord said that the discerning the spirits, that's a gift.
Right. Well, that's the number one thing that King Solomon asked for, man, the wisdom to lead his people, man. Ask for the discernment to lead your damn self, man. You know? Ask for the discernment to know and which way to walk, man. Pray for that, man. And to lead brothers and hey, people that are going to eventually be following you. Pray to the Lord that he leads you on the right path, man. Because if not, you're going to be tossed to the wind.
Yeah, you leading people astray with you, man. So. But yeah, close it out there.
Yeah, but hey, so with that, you know, Lord's will is edifying. You know, when you brothers out there and you few sisters that are as well, you know, partaking in this ministry and truth and sincerity, man, may Yahweh Shem Shai pass over you and your household, you know, on this day, you know, of the Passover, man, and may the Lord watch over you sincere elect out there in the Passover that in the time of judgment that's getting ready to come. May judgment pass over you and your household, man. Those of you that are truth and sincerity following and serving the Heavenly Father to the best of your ability, man. You know, Lord's will is edifying, and until next time we say shalom.
Shalom.